Welcome to Lift Your Leg. This is Monique Cansey from the Naughty Dog in Victoria, BC, author of As a Dog Thinketh.
And Jill Brown from Calgary, Alberta, the bag lady.
We are back. We've had our summer vacation. We did very little swimming, fair bit of drinking. I did a super amount of hiking. Jill did a medium amount of hiking. No, I did biking. And then we both did a medium amount of hiking, and we had a very good summer. And
We did.
a lot of eating.
Yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen.
My clothes still fit, but barely.
I came back weighing more than when I left to go there, and that was sad for me.
Yeah, I'm not brave enough to step on a scale. Well, I can tell you how it is because I biked and I was fit while I was up there. I was exercising. And I came home and I trained Harry. I am so out of shape. But that burst kind of training where you're running, then quiet, running, quiet, like those bursts, I am in trouble.
Yeah. Got to get back to your sprinting practice.
Yes, must lose some weight first. But anyhow, today we are talking about how people are breaking their puppies with the best of intentions.
Yeah, so much of that is coming up on videos on Facebook.
I have another young puppy with me right now, same breed as the last broken one I had, and probably a very similar type of owner to the last person I had with the other puppy. So they're both either educated in dogs or wanting to be educated in dogs, responsible people with the best of intentions, done their research, got the right breed, waited, puppy arrives on scene, and they both broke their puppies. What are the ways that people are breaking their puppies with the best of intentions and believing they're doing everything right?
I think a lot of times it's, like you just said, new people or educated people. Sometimes a little bit of knowledge is dangerous.
Yes, very much so.
Once you have a little bit of an idea of what to do with training a puppy, you go overboard with the training and you forget to enjoy said puppy and have fun with them.
Yep, loose leash walking shouldn't be coming before a puppy can follow you, before a puppy has learned to leave you to explore, because that takes a form of bravery, just to be able to leave your side, go explore, see things. They must have that freedom and that before you're taking them around the world on a leash.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things I see. They shouldn't be sitting and waiting, going through a doorway when they're 10 or 12 weeks old.
Yeah, I agree.
First, they should be bad puppies grabbing your shoe and running through the doorway with it. They shouldn't be sitting and waiting, so everything has its time and place. So I'm looking for things in a strategic order. First, they must follow me. I want them to be able to sleep in my bed. And that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I think those are the two biggest things.
All right.
And for your next step, to have a drive for food. And sometimes it takes working on that as well.
Thank you. So this puppy is 15 weeks old, so just tiny little thing. And he's getting fed 4.5 cups of food a day.
Oh.
It's a young boy golden retriever, 4.5 cups of food a day. Like, my adult German Shepherds wouldn't even get that. That's insane amount. But that's what the bag says, so that's what she's been feeding him.
Yeah, that's a common problem. People don't realize that numbers on the bag are there designed to sell food.
Exactly.
Well, they're going to tell you to feed more than you need.
Of his 4.5 bag or cups, I would say I am lucky if he eats 2 cups. I've had to go backwards to making him learn to love eating, because I think eating has just become so boring for him. So I'm adding hot water to his food so it makes it nice and smelly, and a little bit of wet food to go in there with it. So at least it has some smell and different textures in there, so it's not just boring pellets. But so far I'm kind of failing. He's just been surrounded by so much food. Food has no value to this dog. And if food has no value, how are we going to train him?
Yeah. You've got 3 ways of training. As far as I'm concerned, you've got food, you've got toys, or you've got corrections.
Yeah.
And
So,
nobody wants to be correcting a 15-week-old puppy.
nope.
I would skip a meal or two.
I will be. I wanted to make him love eating, and now he's skipping a meal or two.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cut him down so food actually starts to have value. But first I wanted him to learn to love it first before.
It makes me think of young kids, like when they're first starting to feed themselves, when they're, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, they're starting to use a spoon. If you give them a full plate full of food, you're probably going to get 2 or 3 mouthfuls eaten. But if you give them just a little bit of this, that, and the other thing, they'll eat it all. And I think it's just overwhelming for them to look at all of that food and they're like, ugh. Like, last time I ate all of that, I felt gross.
Yeah, I think so. A super point there, Jill, on food. I agree with you. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes people make without realizing the consequences down the road. Because when dogs hit puberty, especially boy dogs, food becomes unimportant. So unless they really love it, this will be a dog that at 10, 12 months old is not going to eat his rations anymore.
Yeah.
He's going to be super skinny and won't bother eating. So making him want to gulp down his food is a very important piece.
Yep.
Another thing that I'm seeing with this dog is, and the tells of what he's giving the story away with, he hates going in the car. He hates going in his crate in the car. So much so that he'll bite you over it. That's because the car takes him awful, scary places where he gets overwhelmed. My puppies all love the car, including all the rescue dogs, the broken dogs I get. They all love the car because they go to the beach, the forest, they have fun. They go to easy places and they get to explore and be dogs. This one will bite you because the car takes him to terrifying places where he doesn't feel good. Isn't that sad?
Very sad. Or maybe takes them to places where they're just going to train. And when you've got a 15-week-old puppy, training, not always.
You're right.
Training can be boring for them.
Well, and boring neighborhood walks where you had to walk in heel position.
Yep. Yeah, got to make the car the well, truly the vehicle to get you to the good places.
Yeah. And I think thrown in with all of this, because it was summer holidays, children are in the house. When you have this cute little puppy, everyone wants to pet him, say hi to him. And I think he kind of becomes owned by everyone versus one person. Maybe not even one person, but he's lacking bonding. This dog hasn't fully committed to a person.
Which is really hard when you've got a family like that, because
children with constant company coming in and out through your house.
Yeah. And the kids want the dog to be their pet, but they don't really have the ability to truly bond. Occasionally there's a kid that can.
Yeah.
But parents are trying to get the puppy to bond with the children, and puppy's like, I don't know what to do with this. So they have no one.
Such an easy way is, again, that first week of life that they join you, just let them sleep in your bed.
Yeah.
And keep them home. Just let them learn what their new life is rather than throwing everything at them. Like, there's plenty of time. It's not a race.
Yep. Agreed.
So, yeah. And attached to that, like, kind of that chaotic life of some holidays, kids home, company, and we can all relate to this, right? It's just a bit of chaos. Are they getting enough nap time in there? Or are they overtired? So with this little guy with me, yesterday I did very little with him and he slept most of the day. He was exhausted. And I think that's just kind of catch up from everything that's been going on in his life. But I have him out for a couple of hours and then he's away for about 3. Then he's out for an hour or a couple of hours and he's away for 3 or 4. And then I have him out in the evening. He's not out all that much, but when he is out, he needs to be getting the right work. So that's when it's very time consuming, but it's fun because it's a puppy, so it's really not anything to complain about.
Well, and staying with you, that's pretty much the same thing as what happened to him at 8 weeks when he left the only place he knew, his litter mates, his mom. So where you're saying when you bring a puppy home, give it time just to decompress.
Yeah.
He did that yesterday. I mean, at 4 months of age, he doesn't need as much time as an 8-week-old would need to get used to the new lifestyle, but that might just be like a mental thing where he just needed time to realize that this is where he's going to be for a bit.
It's funny because yesterday he was super tired, and I mean, I would let him out, and he'd just kind of have half open eyes, like he was tired, and he'd just kind of meander around like there just wasn't a kick in the step yesterday. Yesterday evening, though, he was naughty, which is why he's here. So going on with that one, there's so much written on the internet right now that force will create aggression and wreck your relationship with your puppy. Define force. What exactly is force? So what about if your puppy doesn't want to go in a crate? If you put him in there, is that force?
To some people. I guess it is. I mean, you're forcing him to do it. So yes, that's force.
What if your puppy doesn't want a leash on?
Oh yeah, again, you're forcing him to wear a leash.
What if your puppy doesn't want to be picked up by you?
Well, I pick them up. Some people just don't because puppy doesn't like it.
What if your puppy wants to eat the toilet roll and you stop him? Is that force? So in the quest of not trying to wreck her relationship, she was scared to force him to do anything and taught him to bite her. Because he would say no, she would back off. And before long, it didn't take this little monster long to realize what was what. So last night, he decided he was eating the toilet roll, and I told him to stop it. So he ate the toilet roll some more, told him to stop it. And then he ate toilet roll more. And I really told him to stop it that time. And he did, and he kind of walked out sad, and with toilet roll hanging off his bottom lip. So he's in the kitchen, and he's just looking at me. So I go to pick up the piece of toilet roll that fell off his lip, or toilet paper. So it fell off his lip, it's now on the floor. And as I went to get it, he went for my hand.
That was a poor choice on his part.
And that's why he's here. Because he was told that he didn't have to do anything he didn't want to do. And so he started biting if he felt that that was being jeopardized in any way.
Oh dear.
So, force will create aggression. We have to tackle this because this is what people are reading. In this case, the lack of just following through with stuff created the aggression.
Yeah.
And if we have a 3-year-old child that needs to go outside, it's raining or snowing, it's cold, it's winter, they don't want to put their coat on, and you lift up their arm and put their arm in a sleeve, do we consider that force?
Are you asking me?
I don't know. Society. Yeah, you're here with me.
Well, yeah. Anytime you're making someone or something do something that they don't want to do, you're forcing them.
And so is that child then going to hate you for the rest of their life?
Oh, God, right?
That's what people say about dogs. To make them do something like that, you're going to wreck them forever.
Yeah.
Like, where did this shit come from? This is so insane. Where did all this nonsense come from? Because that's all it is. It's absolute garbage.
Well, because every form of negative now has been lumped into one category. Like forcing a child to put a jacket on is way different than, well, I won't even say that because people freak out about kids. Let's go back to the dogs. Making your puppy go into a crate by picking them up and putting them in a crate is way different than a horrific leash correction that flips him onto his back. But in society's view, those are both negatives, and it's kind of all been thrown together.
Yes.
There's
and
a lot
in the case of a young puppy like this, like my way of training them is just to kind of pick them up, non-confrontational, just get it to happen. Like, don't ask, don't create an issue where there is one. Like, I'll pick you up, I'll put you in the crate, I'll toss a cookie in after you.
Yeah.
And I would throw a cookie in beforehand, but for this dog, he just gets tense. And I mean, he's a puppy, a teeny tiny puppy.
Wow.
But he's just had too many choices.
Yep, he needs to have well, maybe he doesn't need to have fewer choices. He needs to have an owner that, what you just said, doesn't dwell on the what ifs or what might happen. Just do.
Yeah. Take that piece of toilet paper out of his mouth. If he goes to bite you, deal with the bite.
Yeah.
If you need to put a leash on him, take his collar, put his leash on, take him somewhere fun. Like,
Yep.
these are just normal things of living with a dog. There's this big kick apparently on the internet, because I'm being told this stuff and part of me is dying inside every time I'm told it, but asking for their consent. Like, I mean, I get it. I know this is where veterinary medicine that's going, but no, he's a baby. This is very different than me having a 4-year-old chow chow here that doesn't like being groomed, so I'm trying to carefully teach him grooming. Yes, I'm then asking for consent because I like my fingers. This is not the same. Like, this guy just needs to be introduced to stuff and shown how it should be. We shouldn't be asking his permission. He's not at that stage yet.
That whole thing makes me twitch, because while people will bring that up, it's been brought up with regards to tail docking, ear cropping, declawing, all kinds of surgeries. But the animal didn't ask for that to be done. Did you ask their consent? I'm like, no, but we also didn't ask their consent if they wanted to be vaccinated, if they wanted to eat kibble versus raw or raw versus kibble, if they want to walk on a leash. Like, it's just ridiculous in my head, because there's probably 90% of the stuff that we do every day with our animals, we would never think to ask permission.
No. It's a relationship. It's give and take. Oh, it's madness. I mean, as I'm saying all of this, I'm talking here about a totally normal puppy. I'm not talking about a puppy with issues, a puppy with a bad history. There's nothing wrong here. Because if there was weirdness and all that stuff, that makes a difference. This puppy isn't weird.
He's just
overcome it mighty fast. He's just learned to be a tyrant.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
And that happened because he wasn't being made to do things.
Yes.
She was thinking she was going to create aggression by forcing him to do anything. Well, it happened because you didn't force him to do anything.
When I was watching his lovely owner with him playing, he's like leaping and biting her arms. And I was looking at her arm, I'm like, where did that bruise come from? Because there's his very colorful purple and blue big circle on her forearm. And it was from him biting her. Do you know he hasn't bitten me once yet? And he's been here for 4 days. And he hasn't bitten me once yet.
Didn't you say he'd bit you with the toilet paper?
He thought about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got snarlies. Then he got snarlies back. Said sorry. But I'm not even talking mean biting. I'm talking teething. Like, when he nibbles on my fingers or something, it's so gentle. Like, it's not mean. It doesn't hurt. That's a better word. And I don't think I've even really addressed teething. I'm playing with him all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not that I'm not getting him wound up in that. I am all the time.
But you're also not pulling away from him and jumping away, expecting him to hurt. You're knowing that it might happen, and then you'll deal with it rather than jumping away, which just brings it on more.
It's something I've been saying to my clients for quite some time, and it's terrible that I have to say this, but as soon as you're going onto dog training on the internet, it's all going to be about asking their permission. Don't ever force them, or you create aggression. All of this kind of nonsense. So what I would say is, if you're in a place of getting a puppy, learning to train a puppy, stay off the internet.
Yeah.
Find out some good people that you can follow if you want to do that. But don't be Googling dog training. There is so much nonsense out there now. It's horrifying, like really, really horrifying.
Well, and as soon as you look something up on the internet, then you're going to start getting all of these quick video reels from everybody and their neighbor. And unless you know some names that are truly good trainers, you're going to get sucked into that and start watching all of them.
Oh, the reels that are coming up on my Facebook. Oh my goodness.
It's heartbreaking.
How did these people ever publish some of the reels that they are with dog training? If they looked at it from the outside, like, these videos are embarrassing. Your dog looks miserable.
Yeah.
You look like you have no clue what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah. Off topic, I'm sorry. Anything else you want to add, Jill, about how we break our good puppies by being doormats and not actually parenting our puppies?
Mm-hmm. Jumping back to what you were just saying that you said was off topic.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, because I'm seeing videos of people with, one that I saw was 15 tricks for my 10-week-old golden puppy.
Oh no.
And this 10-week-old puppy had already been taught 15 tricks, which would be super if the puppy was having fun doing it.
Yeah.
But the puppy just looked miserable, like it was walking through the motions. Like there was no joy at all.
Your puppy should not look like an old man.
Exactly.
It's the best way to say it. When you walk your puppy around the neighborhood, and I'm talking teeny tiny puppies here, they shouldn't be walking behind you like dum dum dum
Yeah.
dum. Like, they should be bounding ahead, rolling over, biting a leaf, walking nicely, forgetting what they're doing again, bounding ahead, biting a leaf. They should kind of be all over the place.
But a lot of people are seeing those puppies that are slogging along behind and no 15 tricks at 10 weeks, and they just think that that's great because that's going to be so easy to live with.
Yeah.
Which it might be, but talk about sucking the soul out of a puppy.
Well, and this is why I get in trouble as a dog trainer. I got a nice puppy that walks on leash lovely. Well, actually, I got a puppy that bites but walks on a leash nicely. She's going to get back a puppy that doesn't bite, that's like walking a yo-yo.
Yep.
But that's what a puppy should look like. He shouldn't have anger in his face this young.
Yep.
But if you start putting a grade 8 curriculum on a kindergarten kid, they are going to be angry and suppressed and not know their place in the world.
Yep.
Back off. Have fun with your puppies. Have fun and teach them to be nice people.
They're puppies for such a short period of time. Like,
I know.
enjoy that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
All right. Thank you for listening, everyone. It's actually nice being back and talking. I enjoyed that. Thank you, Jill.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Please like, share, and follow.
Look at you go.
I'm learning from Matthew. Hi, Matthew.
Hi, Matthew. All right. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.